So what trust? Trust itu kepercayaan. Gimana kita membangun kepercayaan? And trust is important in any community, in any relationship, in organization, in a country, relationship between you and your friend, relationship between you and your kids. It all starts with the issue of trust. So first thing that trust, usually inherently, it carries something called ID. It has to do with identity. So this is a sample of identity. Everywhere you go, if I don't know you, kalau saya nggak kenal, saya nggak tahu umurnya berapa dan segala macam, yang pertama saya tanya apa? ID kan? So we ask for identity, we ask for ID, and karena ID-nya itu biasanya itu di-issue oleh lembaga yang bisa dipercaya. Jadi kita percaya ID itu adalah menunjukkan sesuatu orang yang di depan kita. So that's how trust in a regular life and in a regular world, that's what you have. Now next. But a lot of time ID becomes a problem. Dalam masalah sehari-hari itu ID itu jadi makanya kita ada criminal, identity theft dan segala macam yang nyolong ID karena ID itu ada value. ID itu ada value dan in that value which comes with the trust aspect, that's why it becomes a problem. But it is in a very business world. Let's take that down into our own level. Because in building a community, what we need is trust. And trust becomes it gives value. And that value is what builds a community. Right? Let me give you an example. Unconsciously, let's say, misalnya kita lagi jalan-jalan nih. Let's say you're going on a vacation. Kita lagi jalan-jalan, kita dalam kereta api yang pemandangannya bagus sekali, tetapi kita nggak ngomong, kita ke sesuatu negara, and we are in a country where we are strangers. Kita nggak ngerti bahasanya, kita nggak ngomong bahasanya sama sekali. Dan kita itu di dalam kereta api, tapi nggak apa-apa kan, karena kita juga lagi vacation. But what happened? Apa yang bakal terjadi kalau tiba-tiba kita dengar ada orang yang ngomong Indonesia di belakang? So when you hear someone speak Indo, what happened? Like, what's your first reaction? Typically, what you do is you go, and the next thing you do is you connect to that person, right? Jadi kita berasa itu karena kita punya ID itu sama. We have the same identity because they speak Indonesian, I speak Indonesian. Just because of that, we have a certain base value of trust. Trust is immediately established from that point on. Tapi kita selalu nggak sadar karena kalau kita di Indonesia atau kita di tempat yang banyak orang Indonesia, that kind of value we don't sense it. Kita nggak berasa itu ada value. Tetapi setelah kita pergi ke tempat yang asing dan kita dengar ada orang ngomong Indonesia, we immediately connect to that person. And that's how trust is built, because based on a certain identity, right? Now, let me give an example, which is interesting. Biasanya itu kalau kita udah ketemu kita ngobrol kan, tinggal di mana, gimana bisa ke sini, gimana menurut ini jalan-jalannya gimana, and then biasanya itu orang Indonesia itu suka nanya soal makanan. Wah, makan di mana nih yang enak? Gitu kan? Which is the best restaurant? Then this person, which you just met 5 minutes ago, will tell you, oh restoran ini enak nih. And then what happened is, even though the name of the restaurant that was told to you, kita udah research sebelum kita pergi jalan-jalan itu restorannya nggak enak, reviewnya jelek. Tapi karena dia ngomong begitu, kita jadi mikir. We start having doubt. Oh bener, masa enak gitu. Walaupun itu nggak benar atau walaupun itu benar, kita itu langsung ada perasaan kalau dia itu benar, padahal kita baru kenal. Benar nggak? Jadi kita merasa, wah mungkin dia itu benar. Apa yang kita baca 3 bulan lalu itu salah. Kenapa? Karena dia itu orang Indonesia. Just because he share the same identity, whatever he says now has a value in your opinion, right? Next. It's an example that you see here every day. I know all of you are probably either Indonesian, Canadian, or permanent residents. Tapi kalau lagi World Cup, everyone is busy identifying themselves with their team. Why? Because when you identify yourself to a certain group of people, to a certain community, or to a certain football team, you feel good because it brings you happiness. It gives you some sort of reason, right? It motivates you to do something. So it motivates you to actually give more than what you usually give. Jadi identity itu sebenarnya itu sebagai orang Indonesia atau orang Singapura atau orang Filipina itu sebenarnya itu ada sesuatu value yang kita itu kadang-kadang nggak sadar gitu. Kenapa orang itu suka dengan Apple? Karena Apple itu, mereka itu nggak jual produk. They sell image, they sell identity. So when you carry an iPhone, if you carry an Apple product, you identify yourself with someone or with a certain company that actually makes you feel good. Right? Apple never says that I have this iPhone itu nggak pernah dibandingkan dengan telepon lain dari segi teknis. Setelah mereka itu selalu percaya kalau produk mereka itu dan bukan dari segi teknis itu, dan itu dari segi bahwa mereka itu bisa membantu kita hidupnya lebih bagus. The philosophy behind the design is always about usefulness. It's about how to make things work. Right? That's what Apple is for. That's what Apple is trying to do. They are not building a product. They are not selling a product, but they are actually building a tribe. They are building a community. They are building people who want to identify themselves with Apple. That's why the company is so successful. And now the next thing I'm going to talk about is community. But I use the word tribe because tribe in the business jargon lately has been catching a lot of attention. Jadi sekarang itu orang itu suka ngomong bukan dari segi community, tapi dari segi tribe, dari segi gimana kita itu bisa bergabung dalam sesuatu komunitas yang dalam komunitas itu kita bisa benefit gitu. Coba kita lihat dari tahun 1928. In that old days, there's something called, in the 1920s, there's something called the greatest generation. Di Amerika itu ada yang namanya the greatest generation. Kenapa the greatest generation? Karena pada saat itu di Amerika itu mereka mengalami depresi. So they have a strong depression and people were going through hardship, they had no money, and then the next thing they had to do, they had to go to war. So at that time, people are putting their self-interest behind, and they are actually putting other people's self-interest in front of them. So that's why they are called the greatest generation. And at the same time, pada waktu yang sama di Indonesia sendiri, kita ada pemuda-pemuda yang membuat sesuatu yang sama. Kita ada Sumpah Pemuda, dan pada saat itu juga lagu Indonesia Raya pertama kali diputarkan. This is what happened in that generation. Now, what happened today is we have a different generation. It's called the millennium generation. The issue with today's millennium generation is called Generation Me. Everything is about me. It's all about me. So there are three things that comes with today's generation. It's about me. It's about instant gratification. Semua itu gak bisa nunggu, gak bisa sabar. Selalu harus terjadi saat itu juga. Dan satu lagi itu, it's entitlement. Jadi mereka itu berasa mereka itu sesuatu yang udah harus dikasih. Tapi dalam sehari-hari kita itu selalu dididik bahwa kalau kita mau sesuatu, if you want something, you always have to work for it, right? You have to work for it. Itu yang kita kasih tahu. Tapi mungkin gara-gara teknologi, mungkin gara-gara social media, kita punya the younger generation today, which is Generation Me, or called Millennium, they have a lot of problems of self-identification. Now, kayaknya contohnya begini. In the old days, if you don't like something, you talk about it, right? Kita ngajak ngomong orangnya, apalagi kalau kenal. Tapi sekarang itu yang ada yang namanya pasif agresif, yang kita lihat setiap hari di Facebook, di Path, dan di Pinterest. Mereka itu selalu ngomong seakan-akan tujuannya buat seseorang, tapi dalam kalimatnya itu seakan-akan itu orangnya nggak disebut gitu. So I have two example of passive aggressive. This one is, and mungkin kita bilang cuma orang di sini doang, orang di Indonesia nggak ada. But I have another example next, which also this comes from a path that I just took it last night. This is the same issue that we have today. People are communicating using passive aggressive. That is the mark of today's generation. Now, again, if we're going back a little bit into the old days, there's a saying that kalau misalnya kita orang Spartan, tahu kan dari movie 300 itu, sebelum mereka pergi perang, bakal mereka bakal dikasih tahu, you come back with your shield or on the shield. Maksudnya itu kenapa? Karena kalau mereka pergi perang itu, posisinya itu begitu. Jadi kalau kita ada shield, kalau kita bawa pulang shieldnya berarti kita menang. Atau kalau kita kalah, kita dibunuh, kita di atas shieldnya. Gak ada yang ninggalin shield. Karena kenapa? Kalau kita ninggalin itu berarti kita kabur. And because if you leave, if one of you just actually leave the shield behind being a coward, you will actually endanger the whole troops. So that is the saying that has been passed from generation to generation to generation. But the issue today is about me. It's generation me. It's not about we. And I believe we can still change that. Next. Now, this is in ada yang nonton Super Bowl? Who was Super Bowl? In Super Bowl, the commercial is very expensive. It's very expensive. So if you're going to put a commercial on a Super Bowl, you have to make sure your commercial is great, right? Dan biasanya itu kalau mereka ada commercial di Super Bowl, ada yang rating. Biasanya bilang ini commercialnya bagus atau enggak. Apple itu pernah masukin satu commercial yang dibilang termasuk yang paling bagus. Tahun ini pemenangnya itu Coca-Cola. Kenapa Coca-Cola itu bisa menang? Karena Coca-Cola itu again, they are not selling drinks. They don't sell drinks. They sell identity. They sell human. They sell community. You can watch from this commercial.
You're beautiful for spacious skies, por tus olas de granos ámbar. Yo piscina zakote, soy baba ng mga rutas. America, America, God shed His grace on thee. और वही जने के साथ आज तेरा चाँद la mera brillant. Verra tu verhjertig og tapp from sea to shining sea.
So that is the commercial. When did you see that they're trying to sell drink? Did they sell drink? No. They sell community. If we look at ourselves, kalau kita bandingin dengan Indonesia, we have a lot more than just America. Kita itu punya suku yang di mana-mana itu lain dan secara kebersamaannya kita punya Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, right?
Yeah.
So we can do better than this. We don't need a commercial company to tell us that we have a better community. We can build that community, and from a business perspective, it works. It works. So if you actually give yourself a little bit to the community, you don't lose much. There's actually a business value and there's an economical sense in contributing to the community itself. Now, next. Now the point I'm trying to make now is very simple. I'm trying to be a little bit spiritual, but you don't have to follow me. We make decisions every day. Every day in our life we make decisions. Kita itu selalu dari pagi sampai malam kita itu mikir gitu. What you want to dress, what you want to eat, where do you want to go, and every time you make a decision at any moment in your life, you continue to do that the minute you have responsibility. Dan cara membuat decision itu, keputusan itu typically has two aspects. You make a decision based on fear, or you make a decision based on love. Only two. It's very simple. A good example of decision that's made on fear is when you're trying to play safe. Misalnya ada, yuk kita bikin acara gitu. Banyak itu mereka pikir, why would I do that? Gua harus habis waktu, gua harus korbanin ini, korbanin itu. They make a decision based on fear. And actually, there are companies who sell the business based on fear alone. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good business. For example, insurance company is the best. It's the best example. Insurance itu, asuransi itu mereka selalu jual dengan menjual itu dari ketakutan. If you don't buy this, this can happen to you. If you don't buy this can happen to you. Tapi kita kan nggak tahu kalau mereka itu ada department namanya actuarial. Ada yang kerja di actuarial nggak? Actuarial is a department where the people will calculate how much risk it is to sell you this product. Jadi kalau mereka jual produk insurance ini ke kita, biasanya itu mereka udah tahu risknya itu berapa. Jadi kalau risknya itu, if it's going to happen a lot, I'm not going to sell you that product. But I don't want you to know that. Right? That's business. And if I know the potential, the risk is high, why would I sell you this product? At the end of the day, I have to make money. So there are business who sell on fear, and we make decision based on fear too, right? And the other side of this is you make decision based on love. Pretty much, you take some risk, you go out, and you do what you have to do. Because when you make your decision based on love, when you try to give something, you are vulnerable. I grant you that. Kita berasa kita itu ada kerugian, kita bisa dirugikan. But at the basis of any business transaction, when you want to grow, you have to take a certain risk. Very simple is handshake. Why handshake is still good today is because when I come to you, when we cut a deal, I'm being vulnerable because I'm physically close to you. Although I'm not consciously, maybe sometimes we don't realize that, but we are being vulnerable. Now, there's a question. Do you think when you conduct your business online, is the deal going to be bigger or the negotiation is going to be better when you conduct the business face-to-face? No. A face-to-face business gives you better deal. Why? Because if you're going to sign a $5 million contract, are you going to do it over SMS? No, right? You want to look at the people and you want to understand what this person is saying. So if you're going to have a community, if you want to build trust, you can't just do it from home. You actually have to go there and meet the person. You have to be vulnerable. You have to take a certain amount of risk in order to grow and in order to succeed. Imagine if have you ever buy a house from internet? No, you buy books from internet because it's so small, so the risk is small. And if you want to take a bigger risk, you want to meet face to face. Why? Because from a communication perspective, 30% of what is being communicated comes from verbal. Jadi kalau kita ngomong, biasanya itu cuma 30% dari. Jadi kalau kita ketemu, that's where you get the 100% because 70% according to research, 70% itu dari apa yang kita ngomongin itu dari body language is how we talk. That's why when it comes to a big deal, a big negotiation, face to face is better. Now, to close out, since I don't want to take too much of your time, there's a story. The story comes from an Indian from Anasazi tribe. It's called Good Buffalo Eagle. Good Buffalo Eagle is an Indian, and the story went like this. When he was young, as an Indian, you have to hunt. You have to hunt for food. You have to go out, you have to kill the animal, and you bring it home to your tribe. One day, Good Buffalo Eagle went out, and he made a kill, but at the same time, the other kid also made the kill. And it happens that it was the same animal. Jadi, apa yang dibunuh itu sama. Jadi mereka itu jadi argue, ini punya kamu atau punya saya, punya lo atau punya gua. Karena argumennya itu anak kecil dan mereka masih muda, mereka itu nggak mau rugi, jadi mereka mau bilang kalau ini itu punya saya. And from that point on, mereka itu dibawa ke sukunya, kepala sukunya, and then di kepala sukunya bilang, ya udah, kamu itu nggak ngerti apa yang namanya itu we. Kamu nggak ngerti what you don't understand the philosophy of we. You only think about yourself, you're being selfish. Tapi dia merasa, kenapa itu terjadi ke gua? Kenapa itu nggak terjadi ke anak yang satu lagi? Buktinya kita dua-duanya nggak tahu siapa yang dapat ini kan? Ini yang kita bunuh ini. Who gets the food? So because of that, he he left the tribe. Dia berasa itu, ngapain saya tetap di sini? Why do I have to be here? Karena saya itu nggak dihargai. No one ever respect what I do. So he left. And when he left, he learns a lot of things. He learns light. He learns about plants and how to respect plants. And karena mereka Indian, mereka itu associate themselves a lot with the nature. Karena itu kepercayaan mereka. So he learned a lot about light. He learns about plant. He learns about stone, what the earth can give you, how they can grow vegetable. He learns that everything, the water is about nurturing. You have to drink some water and you have to give back to nature. That's what he learned. But one important lesson that he learned is we. Because as much as he can stand outside, walaupun sesusah apa dia berasa dia bisa, tapi itu selalu ada yang kurang di dalam hatinya itu. So he always felt that something missing within himself. So one day he came back to the tribe, and that's where he understand the importance of we. So what I'm going to end this talk today is going to share with you that it is very difficult to actually give something. It's because we tend to make a decision based on fear. Jadi selalu itu kita berasa, kenapa kita harus pergi? Kenapa kita harus membantu? Karena bisa aja kita membantu, ntar orangnya tidak menghargai, gitu kan? But a lot of time, it's actually when you are giving, that's what makes your life better. And it's proven from time to time, from history. It's just that today's generation, I feel, is probably going the other way. And it's all up to you on how to control them and bring it back to the old days, which we can now build a better community. Thank you.